Most people don't realize this, but the most dangerous moment in food safety never appears on the news. It happens quietly, inside a lab, when a test result shifts from expected to alarming. And in that instant, a hidden emergency system wakes up, one designed to protect millions before they even know something went wrong. Sometimes it starts with a single out-of-range pathogen count. Sometimes with a consumer describing symptoms that match a known contaminant. Sometimes with a technician noticing a temperature that drifted just far enough to matter. None of these signals look dramatic, but any one of them can trigger one of the fastest, most complex responses in modern industry. What the public eventually sees is the announcement, a recall notice, a product pulled from shelves, a brief explanation. But what happens before that moment is a race against contamination, distribution, time, and uncertainty. Because once food enters the supply chain, it moves faster than most people imagine. A shipment can cross a state overnight. A single batch can end up in dozens of warehouses. A contaminated item can sit unnoticed in thousands of homes. Every hour counts. Every hour increases the odds that the problem spreads further. That's why the recall system exists, not as a bureaucratic step, but as the final defense in a world where food moves with extraordinary speed. When something seems wrong, the first step is always confirmation. Labs repeat the tests. Investigators retrace the production line hour by hour. Every record is checked. Every piece of data must align with the truth. Suspicion isn't enough. Only verified evidence can trigger the next step. Once the danger is confirmed, speed becomes everything. The risk is classified, the severity is defined, and from that moment on, the response becomes urgent. Factories pause their lines, distribution centers freeze their inventory, retailers isolate stock before customers buy it. The entire supply chain tightens around a single priority: contain the problem before it grows. Behind closed doors, teams begin forensic work. They look at the day the product was made, the ingredients it used, the equipment involved, the employees on shift, the cleaning cycles logged hours earlier. Each detail leads closer to the source of the failure. But modern food systems are enormous. A recall that starts with one batch can quickly widen if any part of the documentation is incomplete. One missing record, one unverified delivery, one shipment that left the facility too early. These gaps turn small recalls into massive ones. This is the moment companies fear most, not just because recalls cost money, but because they expose every weakness the operation has. A forgotten calibration, a delayed sanitation, a maintenance issue that never made it into the log. The recall digs up everything, and nothing stays hidden. And when the recall goes public, pressure multiplies. Consumers want answers. Regulators expect updates. Retailers demand immediate action. A company that seems strong can be thrown into instability within hours. But for all the chaos, every successful recall demonstrates something vital. It proves that the system worked. A threat was discovered. A response was activated. The risk was stopped before it spread further. In an age of complex global supply chains, that is no small achievement. Still, recalls reveal uncomfortable truths. They show how quickly one mistake can escalate, how one ingredient passing through several borders can introduce unseen dangers, how human error, equipment failure, or simple oversight can push the system to its limits. They also reveal how much improvement remains ahead: more transparency, better traceability, stronger technology, faster detection. Food safety isn't a fixed system. It evolves, it adapts, it reacts. It learns from every failure. So the next time you hear about a recall, it's worth remembering that the announcement is the final chapter in a much larger story. A quiet emergency unfolded long before you heard its name, and an entire network moved quickly to keep a small mistake from becoming a national tragedy. But beneath that success lies a fragile reality. Food moves faster than ever, risks evolve, and the system built to protect us is constantly racing against threats that appear without warning. Which leads to the question experts return to again and again. If the next danger travels faster than the system designed to catch it, will we recognize it in time? And what does food safety look like in a world where speed is both our greatest strength and our greatest risk?